Okay, now we are live. I think we are live. Okay, yes, we are live. Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Stars Cuisine. I'm so excited to have you on my channel again. This is our second edition of our live stream video, and today we're going to be, dissecting a very, very important topic, and that is food security in the nation. This is a very important topic as we all know that Nigeria is facing a lot of crisis. So, with me in this channel, we have our honorable guest of honor, our speaker, in person of Dr. Mrs. Oo Adesowo. She has had a BSc in chemistry and she had two MScs, one in analytical chemistry, an MSc in agronomy, and a PhD in soil science. So you can see that we have a seasoned woman in our midst. She'll be taking us in this topic, food security in the nation, and speaking to us on practical means on how we can, achieve this as time goes on. So, with a clapping ovation, okay, one more thing before I hand over to her. There's something about her that is so intriguing. She is a woman that loves practical stuff. She doesn't do theory. That's why I love her. She's a practical woman, and she happened to be my mother, or she is my mother. Yes, she's my mother, like heard me. She always, if you come to her house, she's a practical woman. In her farm, when she writes a paper, she comes home and tells us that, okay, this is what we are going to do. There was one voucher or something that she just started, and it has been so nice and helping our tomatoes to grow very well. She's so practical about, what she does, and that's something I see as a passion. It's something that's very, very enticing and very interesting. So, as I'll be handing over to my speaker, before I go, please kindly click on the subscribe button down below and let's enjoy it together. Thank you so much. Welcome, Dr. Mrs. Adesowo.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I also want to say hello to our viewers, and then I believe we're going to have a good time together. Yeah, the topic is very, very interesting, and then I know the one we say food security in the nation, we're actually talking about nation Nigeria.
Yes.
So every discussion will be circled around the situation of things in this country, in Nigeria. And as we all know, that food is any substance, nutritious substance taken to sustain is essential to life. Every living thing needs food.
Yeah.
So when we talk about food security, you know what it means? That it having a situation whereby everybody has access to food. That is, food is available, avoidable on a long period of time, over a long period of time. That is talking about sustainability.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of producing food to meet the immediate need.
Yeah,
Well, any country that is food secured must have the ability to provide food for the citizen on
a long-term
basis.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So that is just about food security and the situation of things. I'll just as this introduction to the topic. The situation of things in Nigeria is very, very critical and even alarming. To me, it's alarming because, honestly, because the permanent secretary of Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is stated last month during a workshop organized by FAO, the Nigeria spends almost $5 billion on importation of food.
Wow.
$5 billion annually.
Annually.
So an alarming situation. In one of their records, they also made us to know that about $160 million US, is spent on monthly basis, few years ago on importation of food. That shows the critical situation and there is need for urgent attention. Urgent attention. And I want everybody to know that we must all rise up to the challenge.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, explain this topic under 5 cardinal points. The first aspect has to do with creating awareness. And the second point is bridging the gap between farmers and scientists. Then the third one, we talk about the government policies, agricultural policies. Then we have the national insecurity, which also is a big issue when we talk about food security. And
Yeah.
finally, preservist technology. Yeah, I will start the first point, creating awareness. I mean, action-driven awareness.
Action driven
Action-driven
awareness.
awareness. I mean, awareness that is backed up with action. Everybody must realize that we must come together. Ensuring food security needs a concerted effort. I feel that right from the early stage, we need to instill this passion in the lives of our children. Having an idea that we have over 60,000 primary schools in Nigeria, uh, and the secondary school almost the same number. If
Hmm.
10,000 out of the 60,000 primary
Is
schools,
it government schools or
public
general? Okay,
schools,
public schools.
excluding
Okay.
private,
Wow.
public schools, over about 60,000 public schools, excluding private schools. If just 10 or 20,000 can have a good school fund, whereby the pupils will be asked to go there to do something, even if it is a snare, if it could be rabbitry, you know, just the fun of seeing the rabbit drum multiplying. You're putting something
Some
in the lives
passion.
of these children. We
True.
need to let them know that they must work together. We need to work together to ensure food security in
Security.
Nigeria. So the children must go, and you'll be surprised that by the time they get home, they want to practice it too.
Yeah.
Thereby, you know, gradually,
I want to quickly chip in
yeah,
something. Concerning the point you mentioned, I remember that when I was much younger, when I think she traveled out for a conference or something, and she came back with, I think, one of these magazines or program that is it from
yeah,
USA or
yeah,
from
yeah,
Canada
yeah,
or something.
USDA, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
and
um,
I saw about $1 chicken.
yeah. It
I
does,
saw yes, I saw
yeah,
about they
you,
sell
they
chicken,
sell
whole chicken for
the
one
whole
dollar.
chicken,
I
yeah,
don't know this
which is
the
about
country
300
exactly, which is
naira.
about 300 or 350 naira. And I think I was in primary school by then, and
The passion,
that just drew me. It drew me
that is
so passionate. I'm like, are you serious? And we are buying it close to 900 or
on
1,000 or more.
1,000.
Yeah, and we
Even
have
now, it is almost going to 3,000
yes, a whole
naira
chicken
now.
is about 3, 5, four
Yeah, I
thousand now.
remember you developed that passion that you
Yes,
want
so
to get
it
to a
just
stage
it got me
whereby you'll be
interested when she talked.
producing
Yes, when she talked about instilling the passion from
passion.
young when you're young. I see that it's really because that's why I studied veterinary medicine. I was so passionate that I need to see a change in
Yeah,
Nigeria. We need to.
making
It's
people
possible we should
comfortable.
have $1 chicken, a whole chicken for $1. Wow,
That would be about
that blew my
300
mind.
naira.
Yes,
So that every household, everybody for it will be able
enjoy,
to
and we
buy.
have the
Yeah,
facilities, we
and
have the landscape, we have
that
everything,
the human.
we have the human
Uh,
resources. Yes, we do. So I just wanted to chip that in that creating awareness from the young age is very important.
yeah, thank you very much. We also talking about secondary school,
And tertiary,
universities,
yeah,
tertiary institutions. Yeah, there was a university in Zululand in South Africa. The Faculty of Agriculture is just a small unit of that university, and they have a well-established farm that
wow,
feeds the community
the
and
whole
even outside the
community.
whole community.
Wow,
I was so
this is so
touched that,
interesting.
well, I wish we could have something like
And we
that
have
here in Nigeria.
federal
I know that,
universities. We
yeah,
have close to
Obafemi Awolowo,
20.
we have over
We have over
70, yeah,
federal universities.
yeah,
So if each federal university is
even private
catering,
universities, they are almost 179 in number, and then we have federal universities close to 70 in number. State universities are there.
this is making
So we
sense.
have the higher institutions, we have over 200. If 100 out of the 200, to have a well-established farm, commercial farm,
That will be the
it
work
will
of
go a
the
long
Faculty
way.
of Agriculture in each university.
Not yes, Faculty of Agriculture can spearhead it, lead. but the university authority
I think
must
OU does
rise
that before.
before. That was in the early 70s or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the university authority must also rise up to the challenge. Everybody needs food, so we must
Yes,
work
you need to.
together to do something. And then another thing is that every household, we have about 200 million people in Nigeria. You know,
Mm,
if 10 million out of the 200 million could embark on something at subsistence level,
level,
you
yes,
know,
subsistence
all this
level
looks so small, but little drops of water
makes a
eventually
mighty
will make
ocean.
a mighty ocean.
Yes,
So it may look small. Let every household have something. Like I have tomato farm. It's been a long time that
yes.
I've bought tomato in the
You've not
market.
eaten
I
tomato.
even give to friends.
You've not bought tomato for like
Yeah.
almost
For,
3 months or 4 months
so
now.
if every household, you can even use the uh, all these
Used
waste
containers.
containers.
Yes,
Can be used judiciously. You can have your tomato, you can put it on the balcony,
vegetables,
vegetable, you can just
some things
do
that these little
little
things
things. You
that
can have
instead
a
of,
rabbit, you
yeah,
can snary, all these are little
scenario,
things,
they're not
but we just need to be passionate about
about
it
it.
and to
Yeah,
know the situation. If the country is spending almost 6 billion US dollars on importation of food, it is a wrong signal that the future is at stake,
mm,
and we need to be conscious of this and start doing something now. Another thing that also comes to mind, which I've already made up my mind, that in fact I've already interacted with the young person, young graduate. If we can have 1 million of people that are well to do, not really, not well to do that you are a millionaire or whatever. If we can afford to employ, to engage a graduate, that has passion for agriculture. you know you have the desire, but you don't have the
mm,
time
time.
and what it takes, but you have the money. You can employ,
Invest
you
in it.
can engage in a partnership with a graduate. If 1 million people can get 1 million Nigerian graduates that are passionate for agriculture, and then you work together. I have somebody already, they've already formed a partnership, a young graduate, and then I'll be giving a stipend which is above the NYC stipend on regular basis. It is a partnership because at the end of the day, we're going to share the profits
Together.
to make him feel
It's making
belonging,
sense. It's a
to
good
make him
idea.
feel belonging. And I believe that if 1 million people could come out of there, could be passionate, or it's just like a plea. If it will reduce unemployment, and at the same time, it will make food available to people. And by the time we are having so many people producing, it will drastically reduce the price. So everybody can easily afford to buy. It will make it to be
Okay.
affordable. And little by little, we are working towards ensuring food
Confidence.
security.
Okay.
So, and the third point,
Second.
the second point, bridging the gap between farmers and scientists. I want to appreciate the 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 extension agents, the Ministry of Agriculture, the research institutions. They have extension agents that always go about to work together with farmers. But I feel there is need to intensify that action. There is need to intensify the action. That is the reality. Because we discovered that we import almost everything in Nigeria. The rice we produce is below the potential. Probably the farmers, many of them are not conversant with the high yielding variety.
Yes.
Talking about aquaculture, that our production is far, far below expectation. The
Expectation.
same thing with cassava. Cassava, the production level is below the expected yield. We are producing about 30 metric tons per hectare, and whereas we have potential to produce up to 40 metric tons. These are areas whereby scientists and farmers, we need to work together. I'm looking for a situation whereby even every department in the faculty, we have like a what can I call it? Probably monthly visitation, You visit a farmer's field. There is need to. I know that so many things need to be put in place in Nigeria, you know, in order to make this effective. But there is need to bridge the gap. There is need to bridge the gap. We have a lot of so many farmers just plant without carrying out a soil testing program. And if you want to sustain the productive capacity of your farm, you must do intensive, detailed, carry out intensive soil testing. I can remember years back while I was, you know, with the rice farmers because my PhD, rice was the test crop. So I had opportunity to interact with rice farmers because the research work was planned in such a way that it involves farmers at the onset, participatory approach to solving a particular problem in soil fertility. So by the time I interacted with farmers to know their fertility management strategy, and then I collected samples from different farms which I analyzed and I showed them the results. Many of them were amazed because that was the sign that they are really, even though they planted at the normal rate, but the production, far far below the expectation, far far below expectation. So there is need for farmers to know. So when I introduce them to soil testing program, all of them want. But the problem is who will sustain it? Are farmers ready to pay for it? Or well, probably by the time we get to government or agricultural policies, we will talk more about it. The same thing with the animals.
Yes.
Most of the animals, about 30% of the animals slaughtered in Nigeria are imported. You know, last year the livestock farmers they lost huge number of their livestock to swine fever. This shouldn't be, it has been a recurrence problem. There should have been a research, findings that will bring, solution to swine fever. It's like probably it is common in Nigeria, I don't know, but there is need for the veterinary doctors, the animal scientists to work hand in hand with farmers. Farmers, they must work together as collaborators, to ensure sustainable production of their livestock.
And also, like the point you mentioned about students,
Yeah, students. Okay, that is very good. Yes, I also envisage a situation whereby students will also have a good interaction with farmers. Probably during the farm year, students will be allowed to meet farmers, in different disciplines. So that by the time they come back, their project topic will be problem oriented, not just something they will sleep and just wake up and get something done. Oh, this is being carried out in this country. We have not tested it here. No. So that the topic will be channeled towards solving
a
problem.
Like,
and
it will be a practical
project, yeah.
And it
farmers
will bring, yes, so that farmers will be able to
appreciate and they'll be very happy. Yes. Farmers will also feel belonging. They are cared for. Somebody is interested in their welfare.
And not thinking that because maybe they are illiterate, they don't matter or something. No. Because that is one problem that I see. There's this gap between literacy and illiteracy.
Yeah.
But when we are able to work hand in hand, like knowing that this is a nation. We are first Nigerians before we became literate or illiterate or whatever. When the farmers are able to, work together with the scientists, and scientists are able to come to the farm, test their soil. For livestock farmers, go to the farm, check how things are being done, look at problems they are facing, and go to the lab, make tests, make findings, discover how we can, bring a solution to this problem, and
farmers will be very happy.
Yes, and be more practical about our profession, not just writing papers, doing projects, dropping it on our lecturer's table, graduate, and then that's all.
And the students themselves will not be looking
Yes,
for,
the students themselves, it
because
would
most
it
of
would
them
drive a
agricultural,
passion.
there's a study that agriculture will eventually end up, doing something
Something
that is
else
very,
that
very
is
strange,
totally out.
totally
Yes,
outside there. It's
it's
not that it's a crime, it
sure
depends on
your
your own
passion.
passion
Yes,
and the
but at least to encourage
inbuilt
the few people that will want
potentials.
to go fully into this
Yeah.
agriculture or
So we need
livestock,
to bring them
we need to,
closer to
yes,
the
bring them
farmers,
closer so that
work
they can even
together.
understand how the market runs.
Yeah, they can even carry out their project on the
Projects
farmer's
on
field,
farmers field,
so that
and
the
yeah,
farmer will know that, okay,
yeah,
this is how it
exactly.
could be done,
And
and
it
so
will
on and
even
so
help
forth.
the health benefit or
Yeah,
the
yeah,
product,
the healthy, yeah, yeah,
because many farmers
because
don't even know what they are doing. They just
mhm, like
pour
the application
chemical
of fertilizers,
fertilizers.
they just
That one
apply
is even
fertilizer
that one is even
without. It is a serious issue in Nigeria.
yes.
As a soil chemist, it is a serious issue, because I've been thinking of how do I come in? How do we come in to really, I mean,
And I
uh,
think also
save our resource base?
strengthening the association, the farmers association, or maybe creating an association whereby
Yeah,
scientists and farmers can
yeah, they
be
can.
at
Yeah, farmers
partnership or something.
association, they can help bring farmers together and work together, so that we know
The
the
challenges that farmers are
challenges
facing,
faced by each
they can
farm.
always relate to scientists and lecturers or something.
I believe something is being done in that area, but it needs to be
More
intensified
intensified. The point is that
to
most
meet
of these
this
things,
critical
yes,
situation.
most of these things is not as if they are not
Hmm.
being done,
Yeah,
but
we need to
we are too,
intensify.
yes, we need to be more proactive.
By the time we know the extent of degradation, then the zeal
Yeah,
to rise up to the challenge to be more.
to be more.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
good point.
agricultural policies, in Nigeria, well, I don't know. Well, that's my own view. Every regime will come with their own agricultural policy.
Policy.
And by the time we have another regime, instead of follow up, we don't have a follow up strategy. If somebody introduces a policy, we look at it. What are the pros and cons? How can it be improved?
Like this Obasanjo's policy.
Yeah, Operation
Okay.
Feed the Nation, it was with the hope of creating awareness or
Awareness.
putting the passion there.
But
But by the time
we're not hearing it again.
Shagari came with his own agricultural policy, then Goodluck Jonathan and
I think this is also
Buhari,
an issue,
you
like
know,
different
it is a
policies.
different.
Yeah,
And
kind
then
of.
the unfortunate thing is that with all these agricultural policies, it has a little significant effect, you know, on this on having a self-sufficiency in food production in Nigeria, because the importation rate still keeps
Keeps
increasing.
increasing.
So that means the policy is not really affecting is not
It's not.
problem oriented, so to say. And then I know that one of the key weakness is follow up. You know,
Yeah,
like I know that the government is releasing a lot of
a
money
lot.
to encourage youth, to encourage
Farmers,
farmers, but
but
no follow up,
yeah,
no follow up strategy. So anyone can collect the money and just use it for anything he or she likes. That shouldn't be done. There must be a follow up strategy. If you are releasing this amount of money, let it be focused. I'm sorry to use that word, but what I mean is that we need to uh, follow up whatever policy we want
mm,
to make. And we have a lot of issues, that the government needs to intervene. We have so many, like making machineries available. When we are talking about large scale farming, you cannot use uh, cutlass and hoe for a large scale farming. And to feed a population of 200 million,
we need
we
to
need
go
large
more of large,
scale farming. The
intensive large
government
scale
must
farming
supply what it takes, the machineries,
equipment.
the fertilizer, and also fund research, because there was a particular country whereby the farmers can conveniently analyze their soil, because they have a device that once you collect the soil sample, we put it there, and the device will give them an insight to the amount of fertilizer to use, the type
Mm,
of fertilizer they need. So the
mm,
fertilizer companies must produce fertilizer either crop specific or
mm,
soil specific, It's not just a matter of producing any and anything.
Mhm.
There is need to collaborate. Farmers, fertilizer companies, the federal government, they import fertilizer. I don't, well, we have research findings, we have a lot of research, uh,
Waste
uh,
management program.
research findings in the university, you know, that can be used, can be channeled to managing the soil very well. You know, we're working towards organic agriculture, because of this climate issue and the adverse effect of synthetic fertilizer over a long period of time, because we need to survey our resource base
Yeah,
to be
true.
able to produce for a
Produce.
long period of time.
And
So we
waste
have
management.
organic fertilizers, we have a, a voucher, we generate a lot of waste materials
Yeah,
that are not well channeled.
channel. That's one
I
thing
know
I
that
wanted to
we
say.
cannot
Waste
fully,
management strategy.
yeah, we cannot fully depend on organic agriculture presently because the facilities are not
And
in
not
place.
in totally,
I know
yeah.
a country whereby even the feces, the urine are channeled towards a particular area, whereby they are eventually converted to fertilizer. But here we are in Nigeria, we only have a big toilet and whatever, but the waste are not channeled
Mm,
in such a
okay.
situation whereby it can be used to
Use.
produce fertilizer. But at least with the huge amount generated presently, we can still use it to do
Yeah,
something.
you can.
So there is no need to be fully on synthetic fertilizer. Even in developed countries, they are merging both fertilizer, synthetic fertilizer, and organic fertilizer together
Together.
because they have seen the risk of going solely on synthetic fertilizer for large scale
Okay.
and long term farming.
And then I also want to talk about pricing policy also. How the government.
Sorry, before we take that issue, I
Okay.
want to talk about farm development.
Okay.
The government should please, you know, we need to have farm settlement again.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
large scale farming. There must be farm settlement whereby basic facilities are provided
Produce people
for people
that
that are
are
managing the farm.
farm.
Give them good school,
Their children,
electricity, water, good hospital,
to encourage
to
farmers.
encourage them to stay there. We really need it. And it is our government that will just rise up to the challenge and make sure that it is carried out.
Okay. Then for the
Yeah,
pricing
pricing.
policy that I was going to say, you know, there are a lot of farmers that, you know, they always like I have farmers as senior friends that they complain about the pricing policy that governments they invest so much capital in in their farm, and when it's time for them to either sell more of livestock, because I'm a vet, the middlemen or the market women or yes,
They
the
just
price
come
they
and
just come
deal
from yes
ridiculous
ridiculous prices,
price.
and they just it discourages them out
Yeah,
of the market, and they just feel like what's the point. So I don't know, is there something, I don't know,
yeah,
is there something we can, is there a way we can create a pricing policy system for every of our farm produce, and a compensation for farmers. A lot of farmers go through a lot.
that is a government intervention.
Intervention.
Yeah, yeah,
Flood can
yeah,
affect those in crop.
yeah,
Diseases, infection can affect those in the livestock. So,
yeah,
what do you think can be done to this pricing system
yeah.
that can
Uh,
encourage people to stay in this agriculture
uh,
and
uh,
farming?
Thank you. I know it is a pathetic situation, for our farmers, and I really feel with them. But we have a loose market in Nigeria.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the major
I
thing.
feel the farmers association, you know, we have a different farmers association. We have a poultry farmers association. We have a pig farmers and so on
Yeah,
and so forth. They can come together
yeah.
with the government
And
and
legislate
and
a pricing.
a pricing that
Yeah,
okay for a whole. um, probably chicken, processed one or live
Like
chicken shouldn't be more
more
than
than this.
this.
If you are
They
selling
will
wholesale, this is the price.
wholesale, this is the
This
price, retail. If the government did not come to the aid of farmers, it is the government that can instill,
is still
and they also look for people that will make sure that the market women will not sell
beyond,
above
because
that
um
price.
me personally, I'm a living witness. I'm a fish farmer, and I remember that when I caught my last fish, I added value to this fish. I smoked them, and I went to the market and I wanted to liaise with market women, and the fish was ridiculously priced. That even if I was to remove my interest or my
It's
stress and
still
everything,
below
there won't,
the
yes,
amount
it's still
spent
below the
in
amount
raising it
spent.
to the table size.
Yes, to the table size. And the woman was like, she was like, that's what they will do. That she has to
Um,
gain this a specific amount
yeah,
of money. I'm like, okay,
Nigeria.
I had to
The
leave the market.
situation is a bit
Challenging.
complex, and I just feel that we have a mind of helping, a mind of a compassionate heart,
We are not
you know, a
selfless at all.
compassionate head to see ourselves working together
Together, that's
to
a major challenge.
ensure
Yes,
sustaining of life. We
lives.
are working together not for our own selfish uh, ambition, but to sustain life. So
That's
by
why
the
I was
time
very encouraged with this
by the
NSAS
time it is
movement.
by the time the government and the farmers work together, alliance together, let's get the price fixed. Let the government provide what is needed. What we can do from our own part too, we must do it
To
because we shouldn't depend on the government alone. In fact, I don't
yeah,
think they even have that money now
money.
to
True.
give out. So this the reality, and we must rise up to this challenge. Whatever we can do, like big farmers that lost huge quantity, if it will cost them to contribute money, work with veterinary doctor.
Doctors. That's the
Let's
point.
look for uh,
Many of us don't want
a way
to.
out of the
Yes,
problem,
we don't want to
because
put into this.
the most of the universities, federal universities, the laboratories are empty. It's part of the issue on ground, and but we need. It is a complex situation, but I believe that there is always a way out if we are ready, if we are
If we
willing.
are, yes, if we
So
are ready to be
yeah,
very self
we are
and to
ready,
work
and we are
together
willing to
as
work
one
together to
body.
collaborate
Vets,
together.
animal scientists, agronomists,
Chemists,
farmers,
crop
everybody.
scientists,
This is our job to ensure that
nutritionists,
yes,
extension workers,
everybody's it's
everybody
our
needs to
job
come
to
together,
ensure that
and
food security is something not just for ourselves,
yeah,
for our
future
children, for our
generation.
future.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
very important
yeah.
because if we are
Mm.
not careful,
Mm-hmm.
food scarcity
Mm-hmm.
is knocking at the door,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to
The
intensify
red signal.
more of our efforts
Mm-hmm.
working together.
Yeah,
Then to the last point
yeah.
before we put a end to this, the post-harvesting technology.
Preserving technology. We're saying that we don't have enough to feed,
Feed, and yet
and
we
at
have
the same
wastage.
time, we always
We have a lot of
record
wastage.
huge wastage. We lack post harvest
Technology.
technology.
That's where we have
We don't have the
agric engineering coming in.
what it takes to preserve food,
Food when they
so
are
that
in or out of season, so that we can enjoy them.
and this situation, it is we need government intervention.
We can't kick out
Honestly,
the government,
I know that.
obviously.
Honestly, the government must just know that, because these are research whereby must be funded. We
Fully
have
funded.
research. We have international institutions that can also come to our help. When you talk about post-harvest technology, there is no way it can be visible unless we have stable electricity.
Yeah.
Electricity must be stable.
Yes.
Honestly, like one of the applications of nuclear chemistry is food irradiation. Food
Mm.
irradiation, whereby the food, is exposed to the influence of radioactive substance, and it can delay ripening. There's the radioactive substance that will delay ripening, and we have radioactive substance that
That
will
would,
destroy the germs.
yeah,
So you just pack the food and you expose them.
expose
So
them.
this is the and package it under the influence of radioactive.
And is
Uh,
able to stay longer and yet
it will
still
stay
retains
longer.
that
Yeah,
LD
yeah. People feel that
content.
if you expose a particular food a crop to radioactive radiation, it will affect the value of
Health
the food. No,
value.
it doesn't affect the nutritive value of the food, and it has no adverse effect on health. It has been tested and confirmed. It will only destroy the germ, that causative agent. That's all, and we preserve the food. But we don't have the what it takes to have such a technology in Nigeria. It is a big issue,
Big
and
issue.
I know that by God's grace, we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to really invest in
We
processing.
need to invest in processing, value
Processing,
addition.
yes.
Yeah, value addition.
Because
Like we have a bountiful harvest, so let's think about
how
to
to add value to it so
add
that it
value
can
to
be
it.
preserved
Yeah,
or
like
retained
we
for
have
long.
a bountiful harvest, probably oranges or whatever. We can squeeze it out, make orange juice and preserve
We can,
and sell.
yes.
You
Even
know,
plantain, we're in plantain season.
plantain season, you can add value to it. You can cut
Cut
it
it
and dry and make
dry,
it into flour.
flowers,
So
preserve.
we need to
This is
start
something
thinking
that the
of how to
government
add
can even,
value, yeah,
yes,
to our food. So this is
create.
another area of agriculture. You
Yeah,
may not be actively involved in farming. Probably your own is to just go and
go and
buy
buy and
and
add
add value
value
to it.
to it.
And
Yeah,
we're still working
working
together.
together.
Yeah, sure food
Security.
security.
Then I wanted to cite the example of the lawyer man that, you know,
Okay,
we encountered before we
okay.
round up this session.
Yeah, interestingly, you see, you don't need to study agriculture
Yeah,
before you have a farm.
for our
You know,
MBBS students here.
yeah, you don't need to study agriculture before you have a farm. There was a young man that I met few months ago. You know, this young man, he's a lawyer and he has a fish farm, having
He
pond.
has a big
He
farm
has a
actually.
big farm.
It's
He
different
has
varieties.
snairy, rabbitry.
He has
When I
pawpaw.
entered his farm, I was dazed. I said,
I was
how
shocked.
did you study? He said, you're a lawyer?
Law, law.
A lawyer?
It
You
shocked
studied
me
law?
really, and I was
Then I
impressed.
asked, how did you come
Come
about all
about
this?
this.
And he told me that right from the
When it was small.
childhood days,
Yeah.
he
There's
was
something about
exposed,
childhood that is very important.
yeah, he was exposed to it and he had
Fell in love
passion.
with it.
That was where the passion comes in. And as he grew up, by the time he has the ability to,
Set up.
set up,
And
he just launched into it. And in fact, presently he's into production of
production of feed.
feed. Yeah,
Yeah.
production of feed. He told me that they already paid for a trailer load of corn, you know, for the feed.
Feed.
He's having a feed meal. I said, look, a lawyer.
A
It's
lawyer.
so interesting. So you don't need to study agriculture before
Yes,
you go
that's
into it.
exactly. That's for
Everybody should just have
everybody
the passion. That
to
is the
know.
essence of instilling the passion
Passion.
right from the
like
tender
I
age.
don't know how to explain it, but we should see food security as the way we see our life, like our breath. Like
Yeah.
it's not our life is
Yeah.
not based on maybe
Yeah.
I'm studying engineering. Everybody, when you see somebody that is dying, everybody runs there to resuscitate the
Mm,
person.
mm,
That's why I
mm.
want us to see food security. Like it's an
Everybody, and we must start
all
now.
hands on deck
Anything
kind
you
of
can
thing.
do. If you have a broken containers, use it to do something.
And if you cannot even engage in it, you can, like mommy said,
yeah, you can
engage,
form
employ
a partnership
partnership.
with a young graduate. Thereby, you are reducing unemployment,
Yes.
and at the same time, you are producing food.
And you're enjoying
Yeah.
healthy food. Like our farm, we
Healthy
eat fresh
food.
tomatoes. We recently killed goats.
So
It's just beautiful.
easy,
Farming
yeah,
is beautiful.
it's interesting.
And for that lawyer man, his wife sells part of the
Yeah,
fish
yeah, from the farm.
from the farm.
Yeah,
They
produce from
eat
the
some
farm.
of them.
So the wife is a graduate.
Yes.
She's a graduate, but she's fully on that as a job. She has taken it as her own
So
vocation. She sells the
if we
produce
have
from the
yeah,
farm.
if we have a million family like that, I believe
Yeah.
that would,
To go a long way to,
yes, it will help the
yeah,
sustainability to an
yeah,
extent.
yeah,
At least
yeah,
my
yeah,
point is, let's not just leave everything to the government.
yeah.
It's
You
government
must
that's
do
supposed to do this because
something.
government is not doing
Mm,
this. That's why we are not
mm,
doing this. No,
yeah,
you can start something
yeah.
from your
In your
little,
own knowledge.
your the front
Your
of your
waste,
house.
you can
Yes,
use your
your waste.
waste to
Yes,
fertilizer,
yes,
organic
it's very important.
fertilizer. At subsistence level, you can manage your
Subsistence,
farm.
yes, manage your farm, eat
You
healthy because that's,
using organic fertilizer. You don't need to be running after the
yeah,
purchase of mineral fertilizer or whatever.
fertilizer.
With the waste generated, in the house, you can put
Do
it together.
something because food security is not just about
Yeah.
production, it's about producing healthy food. So if
Yeah.
you are able to produce what you eat,
Mm.
I think that's like the
Yeah,
best.
good food.
It's very,
Good food,
very
not
beautiful.
just any food.
Not just
Good
any
food.
food.
Yeah.
Wow, this is we are coming, we are ready.
Yeah. Finally, national insecurity.
Okay, let's quickly
Oh,
take that time small on our
insecurity.
side.
You know, with all these efforts to produce food and so on and so forth, if we still continue to have this national insecurity, insurgency of Boko Haram,
Yeah,
Fulani
that's
herders,
the
it
major
will
challenge.
work against
I hear about
sustainability of food
food
production.
produce. Yeah,
Because if people are not at peace, if farmers are afraid, if their
of
farms are
cattle's
destroyed,
being,
so what kind of zeal or what will gear them up to
yeah,
go into food
national
production?
insecurity is a
The
very,
Fulani herders, they have their cattle, they want to sell to make, their own living out of it, and then there should be understanding because I just don't understand. Honestly, I don't understand. There should be understanding. Why was there be a conflict between Fulani herders and the farmers?
um,
Because they are working towards the same goal to
the point is
ensure food production.
everybody has not seen this picture
Yeah,
of all of us working towards the same goal.
honestly,
It's when we
I
see
just
that
don't
picture
know.
that we are able to work together. But for now, it's obvious that many are just working for their
And the
interests.
government needs to rise to
So
this.
yes, the
Yeah,
government needs to
this
really do
is
something.
getting unnecessarily prolonged. Something must be done fast. You can see that ensuring food security in Nigeria
It's a
is
whole lot,
a
but it's achievable.
is achievable.
It's
I know it can.
achievable,
We can start gradually.
and it starts
At
from
least,
you.
yeah,
It starts
yeah.
from
As
me.
individual,
It
yeah.
starts from us.
If you have a fallow land, you can relate it for somebody that has passion to farm to
Yes,
use
instead
it.
of tying it
Yeah, instead
down.
of tying it down, using and just lying there.
If you have acres of
Yeah,
land that you want to
I
sell, that you have been keeping for years, you can start working on it.
yeah
Plant cassava, forget
yeah
it there.
engage somebody
Engage someone to just
and
be checking on it
pray
and
work
all that.
together.
It will
Everybody
do
must
something.
just start something. Every household start something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This is a really wonderful session.
And I know that gradually we will
Yes,
get
we'll
there.
get
It
there.
will be a thing
Even
of the
before
past because
2030.
in the early 70s, Nigeria is making a lot from exportation of food crops,
Food crops.
cocoa,
Yes.
granite,
Oil palm.
oil, palm oil, you know,
We
cotton.
make a lot
It's
of
so
money.
interesting. And I think I'm very sure the name Giant of Africa must have come from there because we have a very strong we are making a huge amount of
Amount of
money,
money.
yeah, from this exportation of food
Food.
crops
Yeah, it's
that
good.
contributed largely to the economy of the
Coming of the
country.
nation. Wow.
Yeah,
I know
you
that
know, I
we are
can't
getting
imagine
there.
that the opposite is a country that used to be almost self-sufficient in food production is
Production.
now almost
No,
100% on self-reliance, relying on food crops and it is not sustainable.
no, it's not.
Definitely,
It's obviously
definitely,
not.
it is not
If it will
sustainable.
be sustainable, it will be more improvised. It will affect we the citizens, and I know that.
And even where will the money come from? Because the oil money is gradually not as it used to be. So I don't know.
Yeah,
God will
we
help us.
God is
Thank
always
you
a
very much.
factor.
Well, it's
Wow.
very simple. We just start.
Please, can we just
Yeah.
show me emojis of clapping? This was a wonderful session. It was passionate. If you followed from the beginning, you discover that our doctor Mrs. was speaking from a passionate. She's someone that is burdened about it. This is something that she tells me about on a daily basis. She talks about, she does it. It's a practical. That's why you are able to see the passion in her. And I want to say a big thank you. Thank you so much for coming to our channel. We are so
Thank you.
honored and privileged to have you. Thank
It's
you
a
for the
great privilege too.
passionate lecture. It was hot.
It's a great privilege too.
And
Thank you.
to all
God
my
bless you.
wonderful viewers, wow, I want to say a big thank you. You are amazing. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the support. And thank you for staying tuned. And before you go, I would love you to subscribe to my channel. If you are new, welcome. And then just enjoy yourself. There are a lot of LD videos. We drop videos, LD videos, food recipes every Friday on this channel. And our live videos is once in 2 months. So our next live video will be next year. So it's a good way to say Happy New Year in advance. So thank you so much for joining. Till our next live video, but keep following our food recipes. Thank you. Mommy, say bye.
Bye. Thank you. God bless.